recording again. Actually get our items first. Let's just see if we carry anything over. Frost Demons stay on the third slot, so that's easy. We just put you back in here and delete the rest of you. Just eliminate everything for now, and we'll see. I gotta get the curse out of their deck. Easy. So you stay. You get deleted. And we've got lurkers and living spirits. Living spirits we have. Lurkers, this will be first time. A favorite enemy in the game. Not necessarily because they're particularly, I mean, I don't know if they're one of the easier, I'd say they're pretty average, maybe average to easier on the scale, but no, I mean, they're not so much one way or another, pretty much right in the middle, which makes a good enemy in my opinion, but it's also just the fact that they're awesome, so, like, lobsters with mushrooms for heads. I mean, I guess they're like, it's actually supposed to be, if you look in, zoom close, not actually mushrooms, carapace, which is really spiky, but from far away, it basically looks like they're walking mushrooms, so. All right, and we'll obviously be sticking on +3. The rest of the stuff all gets deleted. We'll get the other stuff out in a second. All right, so this is just a warning for, I guess in the VOD everyone will see now, but yeah, so anyone who's still here, we are going to go to Prosperity 3 now. 33. All right, so 22 to 28. So the Brute's got some stuff. Got some stuff indeed. I think we're actually going to go ahead and get some of this right away. So the Brute still has 60 gold. I think he's the only one who actually cares so much about buying these things. So what we're gonna buy is we're gonna replace our hide armor for the chainmail. It's not a very costly change. Oh, thank you very much. Also, I guess, hold on, let's see what our reputation is. I think at 10. Yeah, if we gain 1 reputation, we actually go to -3. All right, so let's do the city event first. So we're gonna do a city event before doing any shopping. Well, nothing. I mean, I guess that's decent for that event, but okay. Yeah, I got the recording. Thank you very much, ECU. Appreciate it. All right. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, the cost of going from this, so we sell this, we get 5, and then this costs us 18. So it really costs us 13 to go up. It's not a huge cost to get 1 extra shield per 1 extra life per rest / with the earring now. I think it is worth upgrading usually. We also don't have a ton to do with gold. Yeah, we're adding 1 hex to skewer eventually, but I think this is a worthwhile upgrade. It's close. I wouldn't blame someone for not making this. Like, if I had never bought the hide armor, I would always buy the chainmail starting new character, but I wouldn't blame someone who didn't want to upgrade their hide armor to chainmail. Because you do just gain 1 extra shield per rotation of this, but like I said, if it was just with long resting, it would be different, but now that we have access to the earring as well. So anyway, like I said, that costs us 13 gold. And then we're going to buy something which costs 18 gold, if I'm not mistaken. So that puts us down to 29. So the earring is really good for the brute or tank type classes because you've got your defensive items and usually you have some sort of boots as well here. So using the earring is essentially going to give us 4 life and 2 movement, which is pretty good for a small item. So we're not actually going to sell the sun powder because once we gain another level, we'll be able to re-equip it. There's no point in selling it. We're just going to carry it around in our backpack and not actually use it, and we're going to use the moon earring for now alongside our minor healing potion and our minor Hamina potion. There is a consideration for potentially selling the sun powder and then deciding to go with a major healing potion instead, but the truth is the sun powder costs less, especially since we already have it, and will typically function similar to a heal 5 anyway, so I think it's better to stick like this. Okay, so that was all the shopping we need to do. Those were all the new items. We need all this stuff to be reset. All right, so let's start setting up this scenario, shall we? So the goal for the scenario, it's the classic one, kill all enemies. So like that. Oh, like that. That. Like that. Better like that, I suppose. And like that. All right, so we need blue door, and wooden door. Now we gotta lock all these up. I thought I just locked this. Oh, what the heck? I guess I just missed it somehow. Whatever. Excuse me. All right. Oh yeah, I can't actually, so I actually need to, because these stupid things won't actually go the sideways way, so I need to just do this underneath then. The door is right there, yes. All right. So we need a bunch of water. I'm not going to bother copy pasting all 13 of that. I have a pretty good idea. There's just a lot of water. We need 2 barrels, 2 crystals. What's a sunken vessel without a few barrels? 2 thorns, 6 rock columns. Hazardous terrain is here, so thorns is there. So the rock columns, and then we've got 3 stun traps. Stun and damage traps. And we've got 1 treasure chest. Alright, a lot of stuff going on here. So the first room is just primarily a bunch of water, right? And then we've got the thorns in here as well. Alright, easy enough. This room layout is not excellent for avoiding enemies with rocks, but we'll figure something out. Alright, so the first room has just lurkers in it. We've got 1 elite and 2 regular. Okay. Of course, we just increased our ability to tank up on the brute, and we're going to be facing a bunch of piercing enemies. Oh, can't be mad at the lurkers. That's just not right. Alright, we also need to do our bellicles. Let's go ahead and do that. Look how good I am at bellicles. Gain 7 or fewer experience, kill 3 or fewer monsters. Huh. Well, 7 or fewer experience, I guess, is more doable now. It sucks though because we've improved Skewer, and Skewer always gives experience. But we also have a mobile phalanx now, which never gives experience. I think actually the 7 or fewer is maybe kind of difficult. Killing 3 or fewer monsters, though, is also quite difficult because the brute's kind of he's the closer, you know? He's the one who finishes them off more often than not. I guess we'll try to gain 7 or fewer experience. I don't know if we'll actually get it done. At the same time, I don't care. Well, it's 2 check marks. That would be nice. Maybe killing 3 or fewer enemies is more realistic? Yeah, let's try that. I would really like to get that perk. I don't think I'm gaining 7 or fewer experience, to be honest. Let's try killing 3 or fewer enemies. I think that's easier to control than 7 or fewer experience. With Skewer and Balanced Measure both giving guaranteed experience, it's kind of tough, I think, to not make it to 8. We don't do a road event because this is actually a boat one. So we've not done one yet, and we won't be doing one. So all the boat ones, to the best of my knowledge, link to Gloomhaven. Yes. So there will be no road event for this. We already did the city event, which had nothing. Geez, the Cragheart loves to get this perk, or this battle goal. I think we'll actually go for the trap. There are 3 traps, and these traps are very high value, right? Stun and damage, yeah. Although, no, only one of the enemies flies. So, yeah, 2 of 3 enemies should be able to push into trap. Let's go with that. So we'll definitely be bringing Crater, this means. All right, as for the Spellweaver, no allies become exhausted. All right, Spellweaver, maybe 2 check marks. Shh. All right. Ugh, this is gonna hurt to have to bring Crater again, though, with how many good cards we have now. But let's get to it. So, Broody McBruderson first. So definitely not this anymore. Probably this. Definitely this. Oof. Got too many good cards now. Trample is also good here. Warding Strength is good here. We don't need any of these. The move Loot doesn't really matter. Greediest and most it's true. All right. So how many cards are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need to cut two of these 12 cards. It's pretty rough. So 2 of the 3 enemies have shield, although only shield. I mean, shield 2 here. Yeah, I mean, I think we have to have trample. Although we do have the improved skewer now, so maybe it's more reasonable just not to have trample. I think trample's too good. I guess we'll not bring warding strength. The Cragheart wants to get the trap anyway, and the Cragheart can more easily do it with Crater, so warding strength is an easier cut, I think. So then we have to cut one more card. We can't cut any of this combo anymore. Broken Roar is still just really good initiative. Even though we have the 17 now, it's still nice to have the 10 and the 17. Yeah, I guess it could just be Spare Dagger here for trample. Or should it be Balanced Measure? We have another move 4 now. We've actually got 3 move 4s, so I think it's probably not Balanced Measure. Could be Provoking Roar as well. Provoking Roar is very good against, I mean, specifically very good, for example, against the Elite Lurker, who hits quite hard and multiple target, etc. It sucks to get rid of this though because we wanted more ranged attacks with the obstacles, but the truth is, Rock Slide without Stamina Potion just isn't as game warping as it is with Stamina Potion, which I guess is fine. I mean, it's still a good card. It's just with Stamina Potions, there's so many times that you Rock Slide and then immediately Stamina Potion it back and Rock Slide again, and then you'd have created like a very serious wall. But obviously, the difference between making 3 in a room and making 6 in a room is enormous. So the range attacks have mattered a little bit less. So let's go with that. Yeah, not having Stamina Potion sucks. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's definitely a more balanced game, but it changes a lot about what some classes can do. Oh, Avalanche, you're out of here. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cataclysm, you're in. But we also like to bring Crater, maybe Sentient Grove. Probably not Nature's Lift anymore. So Avalanche, you're out. So what can we cut? Well, backup ammo can be cut now. I think that's fine. To bring in Crater. I like the bottom heal on Earth and Clod, and we've cut a fair amount of healing at this point. I mean, he doesn't have his bottom heal anymore. We've gotten rid of Nature's Lift. I don't think I want to get rid of Earth and Clod. I think we need to have a fair. I mean, you still want some reasonable amount of healing. Problem is, there just aren't other cards to cut. It's still, well, maybe it is just time to cut and save upheaval. It's so good for the first turn rock slide, though. This matters a lot. Once we have the 23 next time, How good is in this first room? Let's see. I mean, I guess that's kind of what determines things. So let's see how we can set ourselves up in the first room. So ideally, starting close to the door just makes sense. Like, for example, something like this, we'll say. So how do we rock their world? It's more like this. Yeah, because this allows us to place like one here, I guess one here. This gets damage on all of them, and by placing one here, it makes him take a really long path. Oh no. Or make one here. I mean, yeah, whatever, take a long path. How much movement does he have? 4? So he would be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Even with the +1, he can't reach us then. Yeah, that looks good. So that's very valuable to go before them this turn. Problem is, lurkers are one of the rarest enemies in the game, so it's very difficult to have a good grasp on the times when they go. So I don't know how different 13 and 19 really is. It'd be nice if we could place the rock there, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Guess it's not. Even if we don't place it, he might not even make it to us unless he has. I mean, if he gets -1 movement. Yeah, all right, let's get rid of Unstable Upheaval. We've got to cut something. I do really think I want to keep Sentient Growth. It's actually pretty valuable. I just need the healing. I mean, I need some amount of healing. So I think we can just use Kinetic Assault as a 19 here. Because it's unlikely that we're going to use the top of a Kinetic Assault as an attack in this room. Yeah, it's not completely unlikely, but it's not super likely. And the 19 might be better than the 21. It's tough to say. And drop the rocks. All right. Over here, Aid from Nether is gone. Fire Orbs, I think, is what's back in. I know we've got a number of stuff to swap out, because we've also got Crackling Air, which is nowhere near being brought again. So you two are out. Aid from the Nether is a fine card to keep bringing. The reason why I'm not bringing it is because we have a fair amount of healing. I guess this would be an argument to be able to get rid of some healing, but because we took Earth and Elemental Aid, sorry, it's easier for us to cut it. Also, for example, it's just another scenario with 2 of the 3 enemies. Well, actually, all the enemies can do AoE, but the Zoidberg is always AoE, and the Living Spirits are very difficult to play around their AoE. So this for sure. Yeah, I think Frost Armor. Ultimately, this is kind of the downside of having gotten rid of not taking Fork Beam, is that we do just kind of need the Frost Armor for initiative at this point, because otherwise we have pretty poor initiative. This at least because it's 20. Then Frost Armor is definitely worse than Fork Beam, but we do also have Elemental A, which has been quite good for us. So I don't know. I think this is fine. I think this is the cost. I mean, of not having Fork Beam is having to bring that over something like Flame Strike, which is almost certainly, or Aid from the Nether, both of which are better cards than Frost Armor for sure. Because initiative does matter. All right. So what does Jan Brute want to do? Go here, disarm him, so he's not smacking all of us. Seems fine. After the rock drop? No, we put the rock here. Yeah, so then him going there, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't hurt him. This thing has 2 shield, so do we really want to use the bottom of this as our opener as usual? No, I think setting up wind is actually fine for an opener. then we can do some nice skewering the following turn, potentially. The sooner we get wound, the more valuable, anyway. Alright, this seems fine. So what is the Spellweaver doing? Well, what is the Spellweaver always doing? Let's be real, right? Where are you? Where are you? I mean, there's not even enemies clumped up right now, but they might be at some point. But the moral of the story is, I mean, you're a Spellweaver and you have this combo. You do this combo basically as much as you can. And it makes sense to do it now. I mean, the sooner the better. Once we start killing enemies, the stun is less valuable. Okay. So, looks like we're good to go. Uneliminate you. There's a shuffle. Shuffle those. So we'll shuffle our decks back in. Alright, here we go. $23. Some shield, huh? A little bit annoying. Creating ice. Alright, well anyway. So Brutes up first, move 4 jump, creating wind with leaping cleave. Yeah, it makes sense to disarm him still. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to have the Spellweaver tank get hit, but that's okay. I mean, it's just an attack 3. It's not that big of a deal. Alright. So then we make an attack 2 with Provoking Roar. Attack 2 disarm with Provoking Roar. Alright. Yeah, it's fine to get a -1 there. The attack was doing 0 damage anyway because he has 2 shield, and it's an attack 2. We would have had to get a positive modifier, and this is still fine. Okay, Cragheart's up next. So we're gonna use Rock Slide, create Earth, gain 1 XP. Oh, we didn't reset our XPs. I was just wondering about that. Also didn't reset our hells, which these hells are actually higher now. Okay, anyway. So, gained 1 experience, created Earth, and drop some rocks. You get a rock. And doesn't really, I guess this is actually better because yeah, it makes it take longer. And you get a rock. And you get a rock. Placing it here rather than here. Here would make it more bottlenecked, which would be good, but it would also deal 2 damage immediately to the Spellweaver. Here it doesn't really do much, although it does set up for Heaving Swing. But it also doesn't damage the Spellweaver, which is significant. Alright, oh, we didn't set their healths. So they have 12 health on the regulars, 16 health on the elite. So 14 here and 10 on the others. Oh crap, special rules. Alright, well, we're just going to restart the scenario then, because we would not have been able to do this. Alright, yeah, sure. I mean, it's just the Brute who would have to do something differently. But I guess we'll just redo everything so that there's no asterisks. Yeah, it's just I normally look around here, but it was actually, I mean, like, the fact that it's on the last row is a little hidden, but I understand why it is. It's not a big deal. All right, well, the Cragheart's always doing what he's doing there. You're always doing what you're doing there. Oh, no, except, so we can't actually play Reviving Ether if we don't move. And since we're mobilized, we can't actually move, so this doesn't work either. So what if we go rock, 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 then, well, yeah, we don't know which thing will be. But presumably with how much movement? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they'd have to get +1 from to make it to us. So this would stop this from attacking and this from attacking. Yeah, so that's good. So rock, rock, rock. Unfortunately, this means we don't get damage on these two, but we eliminate one more attacker since in the end we can't eliminate attackers here. So if the Brute can't move, that means the Brute has to just do range attacks because he can't really do anything else that changes anything. So just the range attack combo. It's fine. Here's for the Spellweaver. The only thing is, this is going to come and hit both of us. I guess if we're doing rock, 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 no, we don't want anyone else here because we don't want anyone else taking the damage from the rocks. The Cragheart ignores negative scenario effects, so you can actually move afterwards. So what if we were to go... No, but this doesn't... What if we did rock, rock... Rock there, it does damage, yeah. No, it's not worth it. I mean, but we should still move with the Cragheart to go like here. So maybe it's worth putting a rock here. It does 2 damage, but then we are the only one who gets attacked by this. And the attack is actually, I mean, theoretically for 4, so doing 2 damage, but I guess the downside, like I said, is that he gets 1. Yeah, he always makes it to us then, which is a significant difference. Yeah, no. But if we're gonna be the one getting attacked here, we should, I guess, play the retaliate move. I don't know if the 21 changes much. I guess getting 1 extra damage is worth it. Oh, but no, this is strengthened now. Yeah, so we've got to evaluate that differently. All right, so what is Spellweaver doing? If we can't move, should we start with Flame Strike then instead of Frost Armor so that we can actually do an attack on the first turn? It would only be 1 effective damage. This is a shield 1, which kind of sucks. I guess not. Better just to strengthen ourselves, I suppose. And then what attack? I guess something like Flashing Burst, and we'll just have to wait 1 more turn to set up Cold Fire combo since we just can't move this turn, so we can't create the element. Alright. It also sucks because now we won't have the bottom mana bolt the turn we Cold Fire if we use this here, but I think it's worth it. I mean, we're still going to get 2 turns of advantage attacks. Otherwise, we could just do... I'm not sure if we want to use... maybe using a potion in the first room is fine. If we do this instead, then, and we use a potion to supplement this, then we can create ice with the potion if they don't create ice for us. I guess the risk is that they can use the ice and we'll only be going at 20 next turn, but we will at least still have the advantage for next turn. Yeah, I think this is probably the best. This way we can still have the advantage for when we make the cold fire attack, which is significant. Well, I'll just do this all manually for the first round since this is all messed up. Actually, no, it's not gonna let me end the round unless I remove all this stuff. There we go. All right, well, let's hope it works out as well this time as it was going to last time. Whoops. 28. +1 move. Oh, no. Well, we're going to move away, so I think it's okay. All right. So first we have the Spellweaver. So she's going to do the bottom of Mana Bolt to give herself Strengthen for 2 turns. And then she's going to use the top of Engulf to make an attack 4 with fire. We want to strengthen ourselves first, obviously, because then we get strengthened for the attack, and it doubles our chances of getting ice. So we create fire with the attack. It's an attack 4 with advantage targeting lurker number 5. Let me shuffle these. Oh, yeah, that was from... Alright, there we go. Ice. No, that's still fine, though. So we get an attack 5. It's 1 shield, so it takes 4 damage. It's actually 8. This is going to take that damage anyway, and this should actually be a 12. Alright, and then we will just go ahead and pop our potion, creating ice. Okay, so then we're done. So now it's the Brute's turn, Cragheart's turn. So the Cragheart is going to gain that 1 experience he already has done there, create an earth, and drop some rocks. So it's going to be rock here, and rock here. So with +1 move, this is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So by moving away, it still won't be able to hit us. That's good. And then yeah, this is still good. And it's going to give it damage. So it took the 2 damage there. So then we just have a generic move 2 at the bottom of Kinetic Assault. So we're going to go 1, 2, I guess. Again, we can move because we have ignore negative scenario effects, so we're the only one that does not get immobilized. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really change anything if we were to use our boots to move further, so just fine to go there. and then we will immediately use 1 charge of our Hammer Potion to get back Kinetic Assault, because it's a fine card and it's our best initiative, and also it gives us an extra turn doing it when we're on 11 cards. Alright. So now we're done. So now the Lurkers go. So they have +1 move, -1 attack. So the Elite goes first. So how much are these Thorns worth now? Let's say 4 damage yet? Maybe? Yeah. So we got 6 trap levels. I mean, so monster trap level is at 6, so traps are 8, so half of that is 4. So this is going to take 4 damage when he walks through those Thorns. A 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this has 5 movement. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will move to here and attack first the Cragheart and then the Spellweaver. In that order, the attack is -1, so to attack 3. So first the Cragheart. Alright, so 4. And then the Spellweaver. So 2. Alright, this is fine. Lurkers are done, and then it's the Brute's turn. So the Brutes can gain 1 experience and always do 2 attack, 3 range 3s. This one and this one. Let's see, do we want to pull anything? No, not really. I guess we'll just put them all onto this one, because we'd like to try to kill this since it's in the back line, and these ones can be cold fired. Yep. So 2 attack 3s on Lurker number 5, no pull. We can't actually pull it, so 2 attack 3s. Muddle, so 2 damage, 2 damage, so 4 damage total, and a muddle. What value? Okay, and that's the end of the round. So the Spellweaver's turn is always very obvious now. This because it's our earliest initiative, and this because it is the card that we play. Oh, to be a cold fire. I mean, sorry, a Cragheart. Ah, Spellweaver. To be a cold fire, pretty much. That is the name of the game. All right. So we would like to create wind and then skewer them next turn. But we can move up and attack this one, I suppose. The thing is, all right, so we always want to create wind here using this. The thing is, we also can't go too far. Well, because I guess a move 4 jump does get us here. But we need to be able to go early next turn, so we kind of want to be able to play this for our initiative, just to make sure we can skewer them before they go, which is pretty important, and to make sure we get here, which plugs the gap so that they can't get their multi-targets off. So, or is it better? Yeah, let's not be silly, right? It's actually better just to skewer them now. Even though we're not going to get the +1 attack and the +1 pierce, which is nice, we're also getting the wound 1 turn sooner, which is already 1 extra damage by placing it 1 turn sooner. So we're missing out on 2 damage, but getting a guaranteed 1 damage and giving ourselves more flexibility by being able to do this now. But then what the following turn? I guess, like, yeah, mobile phalanx plus not really anything on bottom. So otherwise, if we use Leaping Cleave this turn's bottom, we would be doing what with the top? I guess Trample. That's fine because they're stunned. Yeah, all right. That's actually fine. I suppose that does still give us higher damage, assuming that they die within the next 2. Well, I mean, depending on when they die. But it also, yeah. Yeah, I think this is fine. So basically, because we still have a reasonable play this turn, which is going and making an attack 3 on this one by using Leaping Cleave to go here, and then the following turn we get to skewer both of them, this still seems quite good. And the fact that they're going to be stunned means it doesn't matter so much. I guess if they go before 20, I'm going to feel pretty salty about not, which is not a pun, obviously, against Lurkers, but about not doing the other thing, because the other thing would have allowed us to plug the gap. I guess that's the advantage of the other route, is that we don't take any risks. No guts, no glory. We made this enhancement. I mean, the bottom of Leaping Cleave enhancement for a reason, right? All right. So what's Yul Kragikins doing? So we've got Earth. We kind of need to kill this thing, though. The Spellweaver is not dealing with it. Can we kill this thing? Not particularly. Yeah, I'm gonna guess we can. Choose like this, plus, where are you? This? Rumbling Advance gives us 1 direct damage, and Kinetic Assault is just an attack 4, which is 3 damage to something with shield. It's got 4 health, so in total, this comes out to 4 damage. Alright, let's go. Not before 20. 64. Not moving. Okay, well, let's hope we kill that one, right? Oh dear. Alright, Cragheart's first. We're going to do the bottom of Rumbling Advance, doing a move 3, creating Earth, damaging everything adjacent. We'll move all the way up to here. So we do 1 damage to it. And then we're going to use Kinetic Assault as just an attack 4. Okay. Well, we would have killed it anyway. I guess technically we could have attacked first in case we drew that. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually correct. Then we would have been able to pick up the coin, I suppose. Oh well. Spellweaver can also use the coin. Actually, Spellweaver can't use the coin because she can't do any more enhancements. So this was a bit silly. Although his enhancements don't matter so much. It's actually the Brute now who wants money the most. Alright, so we're done there. And so then it's the Spellweaver's turn. So we're going to consume Ice and Fire and use both of them to do Cold Fire. We don't need to use the goggles because we already have Strengthen. I don't think I'm using the Piercing Bow. I'd much rather save the Piercing Bow for the Living Spirits, which are much more annoying than Shield. These things are pretty done already. Okay, so we have Attack 3, Stun with advantage. We'll do the Elite, then the regular, because we do 1, 2, and then we expand, like this. So Elite, then regular. On Attack 3, Stun advantage. Okay, Ice. Well, that's a mixed bag with them, but still. So it's a 5. And then a 3. So 5 here does 3 actual damage, down to 7. And then 3 here does 2 actual damage, down to 10. And they're both stunned. This Cold Fire is a legit ability. And then we've got the bottom of Frost Armor. Well, I mean, if it's there, it's there, right? And I might lose the Strength as well. This does mean we'll need to move next turn, but we don't really have much to do other than, well, we do have Elemental Aid. Alright. Fine, take your coins. Because by going here, we can actually do it on attack 3, range 3. I guess we should actually go here in case this one dies. This gives them more flexibility. And being 1 further from the door isn't such a big deal. And by being able to use Elemental Aid on the Brute, we're going to negate some significant incoming damage. Okay. So we're done. So then the Brute's turn goes. We're going to move 4 jump, creating Wind, going to here. Wind is up. And then we're going to make an attack with Trample, which is an attack 3, pierce 2, targeting the Elite Lurker. Okay, so 3 damage. And then the Lurker's stunned. They do have Pierce, that's correct. Oh, yeah, he has Pierce 4, actually. I didn't realize that it was so high. I was thinking it was like Pierce 2, but I was thinking that we're going to have Immobile Phalanx plus Elemental Aid plus his armor. But in the end, actually, so it just allows us to use the shield, basically. Ugh, that does suck a little bit. Like I said, I thought that their Pierce was lower. I guess it's been a long time since I've fought such a high-level Lurker. Yeah, Pierce 2, Pierce 3. I mean, I guess there's already 3 on the Elite at that point. Yeah, I just thought it was a bit lower. I mean, the point is, though, that, all right, using this still gives us something, and we don't have another thing we want to use anyway. I mean, we're missing a coin, but it's a coin that anyone can pick up anyway, and it's pretty easy to pick up. And this still just gives us a non-move bottom action, because we don't need to move this turn, and we'd like to use Reviving Ether next turn, actually, so we can create an element for going into the room. So it still makes sense, even if it's, yeah, not going to be as good as we'd like it to be. So I guess we're going to Dirt Tornado them. And we kind of like to do it before any of them die. That doesn't seem, well, I think if we go early-ish. Ooh, yeah, Strengthen. Yeah, that seems all right. All right. This just allows us to get some free curses in their deck, which is not bad. And it does some damage. Not a ton, but some. And Strengthen as well, it's not bad. They're going to try to, they're actually going to use Ice. Interesting. And wound attack? Ooh, all right. That strengthens annoying because it's going to counteract our muddle. Huh. That's stupid ice. That's the second time the Spellweaver's screwed us by creating ice with a modifier. All right. Well, anyway, the Brute goes first. Should we hammer it back? I don't think so. Well, we'll figure out the rest after. We're going to consume air, gain 1 experience, and do Skewer. So an attack 4, pierce 1, wound. We'll do the Elite and the regular, closest to furthest. Ugh, really? Wow. Oh, man. Don't we have a good modifier deck at this point? Don't we have some perks? Man, that's brutal. All right. So the first one ends up being just an attack 2 with 1 pierce. So this is 1 damage that goes through, but wound. Really been nice to give it more. And then the second one, so it becomes an attack 3 pierce 1. This is only 1 shield, so it is actually 3 damage that goes through. And a wound. And we don't want to move anymore. Anywhere. We're just gonna stay where we are. We don't want to take this back, so we'll just use the bottom of Provoking Roar to sit still. So then it's the Cragheart's turn. So the Cragheart gains 1 experience, doing a move to retaliate oneself, moving to here. We have to move to here. We can't go back here, unfortunately, because 1, 2 expand doesn't hit anything, but 1, 1, 2, and expand like this allows us to hit both of them. Okay, so we strengthen ourselves for 2 turns. Oh, this enhancement is nice. And we consume the earth, which allows us to gain 1 experience. So we get an attack 2, curse, muddle, with advantage on both of them. We'll do elite to regular. Okay, so that was the elite and the regular. All right, +2s all around. So 4 here. So that's good, actually. So he will die. All right. So he goes down to 1 because... Oh, no, the Spellweaver goes after. Yeah. So it was an attack 2, +2 is 4, and he has 2 shields, so he takes 2, goes down to 1, which means he'll die to the wound. But he also gets a curse. Beautiful. And then the back one was a +2 as well, so 4, 1 shield, so it takes 3 damage, goes down to 4. Is muddled, because he'll actually survive, and also gets a curse. Oh, Cursinado. Not bad. And so then we're done. So it's the Spellweaver's turn. So we are going to shield. I mean, especially now that the Elite's dead, the regular has only 3 pierce, so the shield still does do something. Oh, yeah, we weren't going to use a mobile phalanx, but I mean, we're still going to do it because, again, I think, well, is it better than moving? Yeah. I mean, it allows us to use the shield to block 1 damage, basically. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the previous time that it happened, I didn't know that it would backfire. Here, I should have actually put more consideration into skipping that element, because I wasn't about to get Cold Fire back. If you have stamina potions, the elemental infusions are worthwhile, because you can, I would have then taken it, because if I'd flipped to fire, although actually, do I even have the fire in my deck at this point? No, I don't. Yeah, so I should have skipped it. Yeah. Oh well. That's a good point, though. Thank you. So does the shield 2 on the Brute do anything? So it puts him up to, I mean, because he always has to use this, unfortunately. So this is always going to get pierced. But I guess we could just not use the shield. It basically gives us the option to use the shield to block 1 damage if we use that. Otherwise, we pick up a coin. I mean, we're not really the one who wants coins at this point. We can't do any more enhancements. We literally cannot do any more. I mean, we can't do anything with gold now for a while. So I don't think it should be us to pick up coins. So no, I think we will just shield the Brute. I'm not sure that actually changes anything. And then we create light, and we do an attack 3, range 3, and we're going to attack the regular. So it's good we moved up this far. So we do an attack 3 on him. So if we get a +1, we're good here. Ooh, does this mean we should use the goggles? No, I don't think so. Oh, okay. Well, more ice. So our attack was actually a 5, so this just kills him outright. Alright, well, in the end, none of that bad stuff mattered. So he's dead. And then the lurkers go, and the elite dies to its wound. This is another reason the wound is quite valuable. I mean, we didn't do it quite here, but the conjunction of being able to do AoE wound with having cold fire in the party, yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, I guess we'll just say that I skipped the ice there. Well, I guess I still have the choice, kind of. Yeah, I'll just skip the ice. All right, so what's up next? Time to go into the next room. The big move and a big attack. Sort of same thing here. We'll see if we actually end up making the attack or not. Depends what we encounter in the next room. As for the Cragheart, we don't have Earth, so this doesn't move us very far, but move 3 may still be enough. And just attack with Massive Boulder, because it's pretty safe here then. Sure. This gives us, I mean, we're not using Cataclysm's top anytime soon, and once we get into the room and start drawing enemies towards us. Yes, it was a kill for the Brute. Good catch. There was 1, the elite. Thank you. Once we get into the room, the enemies are going to start running towards us anyway, so we're not going to need this move 6 immediately. anytime soon, so I'd rather just get the move 3 from here. I think this looks good. All right, let's go. So they're all eliminated. Well, in the end, no one's going to pick up this coin, but we're also just kind of the point where we, I mean, the Brute does care a bit about coins still, but yeah, and I guess the Cragheart kind of does, but not even so much, right? Do we actually have enough? No, we didn't have enough, but how much does it actually do that? +1 here. I think it's only 30 gold, right? Yeah. So we need 21 more gold on the Cragheart. I mean, theoretically, at some point, we want another small item as well, but we're really not gold hungry anymore on any of our characters, except kind of the Brute, so it doesn't really bother me anymore passing up coins. When we still had, or when we were working towards those really significant enhancements, it was big. I was really, really interested in gold, but at this point, it matters less. All right, so we do a move 4 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still got our boots to go more if we need to. Let's set up this room. Yep. Column here. Rock column here. 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 Crystal here. Crystal here. Rock column here. Column here. Okay. So we have 1 regular, 1 elite lurker, 1 frost demon. All right. Easy enough. 16, 12. Yeah, almost certainly will not be cold firing anything here. Maybe we should have gone as late as possible. That was actually probably better to have a greater chance of things moving up. It wouldn't have changed anything. Not a good thing we didn't take the ice this time. Yeah, we've got to really be careful in this scenario. So then the regular, oh no, it's an elite frost demon, right? Yeah. So how beefy are you? 22 health. All right, all right. Respectable, respectable. Oopsies. All right. Just having a sip. So we have 2 more movement, but unfortunately 2 more movement doesn't get us to any enemies. Boots of dashing look pretty good here. -1 movement as well, so they have 3. 1, 2, 3. So we should still use our boots here, just to avoid taking attacks because it's pretty free. And we're just gonna step back 1. This way, with his 1, 2, 3 movement, he'll go to here and not actually be able to hit us since he has -1. The Frost Demon, there's no ice, so he has -1 movement on the elite, so it's 3 movement. Yeah, not even close. All right, yeah, this looks fine. So we're done. Sucks to use our boots like that because we're missing out on damage, but I think it's okay. I mean, I think it's definitely worth using the boots to basically heal ourselves for 5. Yeah. Frost Demon goes now. Like I said, -1 move. 1, 2, 3. I guess the ice wouldn't have actually mattered, but and then the lurkers go. So -1 move. It's 4s all around. I was misreading the elite's movement before. No, I think it didn't matter in the end, but for some reason I was reading the 5, which was just below. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lurkers are done. Spellweaver's turn. Could go up and make a generic attack too, but I just don't think that's worth it with them having 2 shield. Well, 1 shield, I guess, but it would also block the. I mean, it would make it so that the Cragheart hitting Massive Boulder does 1 damage to us. I don't really want that. So I'll just grab this coin in the end. Just move there using the bottom of Reviving Ether, I suppose. And we can create whatever element we want. We could create Wind just to give them his in the option. We could create Fire to have the possibility of hurting the Flame Demons or the Frost Demons. I guess the question is the Brute going to want to short rest here? Not really. We've got decent action next turn, getting to go make it either an attack 5 or attack 4 shield 1. Probably attack 5 because they're Pierce. So yeah, let's just actually create a fire when we move with Reviving Ether, I suppose. Because there's no elements that really matter for us next turn. I mean, any element can be used for these, yeah. Yeah, we'll create a fire. moving with this and doing nothing with the top here. Okay, and then the Cragheart's turn, so we got to move through with bottom Cataclysm. I guess we could have left the coin for him. So I suppose we'll go here then. Yeah, because it actually, the coin is more valuable in the Cragheart. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So he'll actually move to here using the bottom of Cataclysm. And then we'll use the top of Massive Boulder to create an Earth and do an attack 3, range 3. Yeah, there's nothing else. No. Attack 3, range 3, targeting Lurker number 2. And we have Strengthened still from the previous turn. Okay. So a 6, so 5 damage. Yeah, Strengthen on moves is pretty good. And that's the end of the round. I mean, we'll short rest on the Spellweaver here. Alright, perfect. Perfect. That's the exact card we wanted to get rid of. We hadn't used the goggles yet or anything, and I think it's reasonable to just do a short rest accordingly. Alright, well, Brute's going to play his 2 cards, which is probably a generic move with a Mobile Phalanx, and an attack 5 with Unstoppable Charge. No, Brute hasn't taken damage. Cragheart's taken damage. So I suppose we can heal ourselves while making a ranged attack. Since we don't really need to move, we want the enemies to come towards us anyway. And I suppose the Spellweaver wants to set up Cold Fire, because that's, again, kind of what we do. So let's just use Engulf plus Reviving Ether. Let's go late so that we have some flexibility. I guess if we go earlier, then there's a better chance of killing this before it goes. How much health does it have? It's 7. All right, let's go earlier then. I mean, there's a decent chance it goes before us anyway, but I still think this is the way to go about this. Okay. Let's begin. Shield. That's annoying, having extra shield. You're also having shield. Ah, the fire paid off. I mean, 1 damage, but whatever. 1 damage is 1 damage. All right. So the Brute goes first. We're going to do a generic move at the bottom of the Mobile Phalanx, moving into the doorway, blocking it from getting in, hitting multiple targets. And then we're going to use the top of Unstoppable Charge, gain 1 experience, and make an attack 5, targeting Lurker number 2. It does not have the extra shield yet. All right, +1, so it's an attack 6, which means this does 5 damage. He's down to 2. If only he just gone a little bit later. Oh well. So then we're done. Then the Frost Demon goes, has +1 movement, but actually can't move anywhere because he can't find focus. Does consume the fire and suffer 1 damage. It's a good question, actually. I wonder if anyone in chat does actually know this with certainty. In a situation like this, does he still consume the fire and suffer the 1 damage if he can't find focus to move? I would guess he does, because, for example, I'm sure he still gets the shield. So if he still gets the shield, it makes sense that he would still do the bottom thing as well. All right, so the fire is consumed, and he's done. So then the Lurkers go. It sucks the one in the back's not moving up. I wouldn't have minded that to set up a better cold fire. Yes, damage. Yeah, I agree. Just verifying. All right, so the Lurker has -1 attack, but has Pierce 3 anyway, so it's going to make an attack 3 on the Brute. Okay, well, unfortunately, we are forced to use this. We're not going to use the shield, obviously, and we take 3 damage, which is more than fine. And he has created ice and 1 additional shield here. So he has 2 shield. All right, then the Cragheart goes. We're going to make an attack 3 with Crater. If we push, yeah, that still doesn't set up actually the. Oh yeah, it does, because we put it here, then we set up the Cold Fire. Yep. Oh yeah, Diamond targeting on Cold Fire. Talk dirty to me some more, Cold Fire. All right, so we actually can push. So we'll consume the Earth to add push to Earth, or to Crater. So we're doing an attack 3, range 3, gain 1 experience, and push 2, targeting Lurker number 2. Okay, so this does 1 damage. It's down to 1 life. Because he has 2 shield now, since he got 1 extra shield, and with the push 2, we'll put him just like that, setting up the diamond. And then we have a heal 2 on bottom. I guess we'll use it on the Brute, because the Brute is the frontliner. He's more likely to take hits. I mean, these pathways are so narrow that it's very likely that there's only 1 person actually getting attacked, and the Brute is the only one who actually really needs to be in melee constantly, so better that he gets the health. for now. Plus, being at 16, it makes it very convenient for us to do it precisely heal 4 on ourselves. So I think this is reasonable for that point as well. Although I guess we can also do heal 3 on him with Spellweaver. But... All right, so then the Spellweaver goes. So we've got to move 4 jump. I guess we don't need to create ice. So we can create wind, actually. That's not bad, because then the brute can next turn skewer. This is why, I mean, there are so many times, and you'll find this eventually. In my first campaign that I ever played, we put ice on the bottom of Reviving Ether, which is fine. It's cheaper and it's very effective. It's what you do, I would say 85 to 90% of the time you use Reviving Ether, you'll be creating ice with it, right? But some not insignificant percentage of the time, it is nice to be able to create other elements when you don't need to create the ice. And so just to have a permanent enhancement on a card that you always use in this class, this is why I prefer to put any element. If I was just playing one campaign, which I was going to play through, and not really like a long-term investment in the game, replaying characters and stuff like that, it would be reasonable just to use ice. All right, so we'll create wind by moving with Reviving Ether. So do a move 4 jump. Actually going to go to here. The reason for this is we need to be close enough to hit him because we don't want to attack this actually, since like I said, we're going to be able to hit both of them with the diamond. So this one should just die to cold fire no matter what. Even if it doesn't die, it's going to be stunned. So we want to hit this. So we could go here or here, but probably better to be a little bit further away so the brute can like move up here. I guess if the brute goes here anyway, can the brute make it to there next turn? Yeah, you probably can. We've got to move 4 jumps now. So yeah, all right, we can actually just go to here. Unfortunately, we always have to have disadvantage. Well, not disadvantage. We're always going to be disadvantaged from the range attack. We're going to have advantage because of Mana Bolt, but unfortunately, we have to move adjacent to it to be able to hit this one because we can't go here. All right, so we'll move there, and we'll make an attack with Engulf. I'm making an attack 4, targeting the Ice Demon, the Frost Demon. Okay, and this creates fire, so our attack ends up being a 5. Down to 16. Beautiful. And we end the round. So we know our combo at this point. Look at this without a doubt, this is the pain of abusing cold fire. That horrible experience bar, but gotta do what's effective, right? Brute short rest. All right. I don't want to lose it because we haven't even met the living spirits yet, but we've got other cards. Skewer is better against living spirits anyway. Unstoppable Charge is as good against living spirits while being better against other enemies, etc. So, if Trample's got to go, Trample's got to go. Okay. Speaking of skewer, so that's what we're going to be doing here, and we need to move jump. Don't need to create the wind, so we might as well just use this one for now, I think. This gives us a better chance of potentially going before it. Oh, this was the reason we didn't want to move here. Oh no! Because now the brute has to go here and get retaliated. I guess we'll go here and skewer. Ugh. Now the brute's not going to be in the front line, though. Yeah, this was a mistake for sure. Definitely needed to be Spellweaver here. This was just put us one closer, but yeah, this was a mistake. We forgot about skewer because we don't. I was thinking the brute needs to get next to him, but actually the brute doesn't want to get next to him because they retaliate, and skewer fortunately can attack from further away. So, all right. As for you, old Cragheart. These cards kind of suck for us. We use our boots and go to like here and then make just sort of attack 2 on him. I guess this will have moved up, so we'll be able to hit both things. This is okay. I think it's still worth doing this rather than, yeah, we should go later so that the other thing moves up behind. I think it's better to do this than to short rest. We don't need to be so effective in here anyway. Like, we're going to just destroy this room, so I think it's fine to not spend additional longevity. It's a weak turn, but the point is we don't really need a strong turn here because of how powerful the things we're doing with the Spellweaver are, pretty much. So it's fine to go with this weaker turn, which allows us more longevity. All right, so just 1 second. Sorry. We go with the Spellweaver now. Begin by healing ourselves. Oh, we're actually missing health. What do you know? It's convenient when that happens. All right, so we gain strengthen, and then we consume the ice and the fire. So we do an attack 3, and we do our diamond targeting. So we get to go like this. This is why this targeting is such a big difference. So we hit both of them. We'll have a regular attack against the Lurker and then advantage attack against the Frost Demon. I don't see any reason to use something like a minor power potion here. So we'll do the regular against the Lurker first. Alright, and then the advantage against the Frost Demon. Alright, so just the way we would like to see it. Lurker dies. Goes there. And so against the Frost Demon, we get 6 damage. And the stun. We are so more than fine here. Not incorrect, yep. And then we're done. So then the Lurkers go. So the Lurker has +1 move, so 5 movement for the Elite, huh? Oh, 2, 3. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, man. Oh, man, we can't. All because. Oh, if we had stopped here, this would have literally been the dream for us. This was so bad. It was such a bad play. I need to be more focused. So, I mean, we're going to get attacked here. That's not that big of a deal, taking 4 damage when we heal ourselves so frequently anyway, but more significantly, it's just the fact that we're not going to get the Dream Skewer, which would have been a big help. Oh, well. Yeah, it is really tragic. That is definitely the best way of putting it. But it's tragic because of our own fault, so... I mean, it was a fault last turn. We couldn't have necessarily predicted this, because this did rely on this getting a +1 movement. Normally, we were expecting it to stop back here. But even then, I mean, I guess in that case, then the Brute could have gone here and screwed both of them, even taking the Retaliate, just because it would have been worth it. So this is a fair argument, but still, we should have always just stopped here. I mean, we could have considered that a +1 movement would lead to us attacking us, whereas if we stopped here, it wouldn't. We weren't in a hurry to make it to this door. Getting the 1 extra movement was just a silly move. A silly move for which we're paying dearly. All right, -1 attack, so attack 4 on the Spellweaver. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we take 4. That's not a big deal either way, but that's not the biggest pain here. All right, so the Lurker's done. Then we have the Brute who goes. So we got to move 4, jump, bottom of Fatal Advance. So the question is, do we want to hit him with Skewer or hit him with Skewer? I think we actually probably prefer to hit him with Skewer. He's got more health and he's got the shield. So I suppose that I value getting the wound on him sooner, a little bit higher, even though obviously getting the wound on the Frost Demon here does 1 extra damage, although here the Pierce also does 1 extra damage, so it's kind of still the same. All right, yeah, so let's actually skewer them. And the other advantage of this, there is a coin. All right, so we'll stop there. Grabbing the coin. Is there? No, there's no other place we could stop to do this anyway. And we want the coin, so we'll gain 1 experience. We'll consume the wind, so we get an attack 4, pierce 1 wound, targeting the clickety clack, the elite lurker. All right, so this made this a 5. He has 1 shield. It's not pierced, so this does 4 damage and a wound. Very nice. Okay, so we're done. So then next up is the Frost Demon, who is stunned. Although wouldn't actually be able to do anything anyway. How do you know? And then the Cragheart goes, so we're going to do move 2 with Heaving Swing, generic move 2. 1, 2. It's interesting. So we could actually not use our boots, and then we could also get to use Sentient Growth here, which would actually heal the Spellweaver for 2, heal the Brute for 1, and give us an attack 2. Otherwise, we could move up more, which would give us an attack 2 on the Frost Demon. But I guess the Frost Demon right now doesn't really matter. Only its ranged attack actually does anything. Everything else it does doesn't do anything. It actually has already flipped its range attack, so it literally just can't do anything. So yeah, I guess healing, I mean, getting 3 effective healing is probably better than getting a 2 attack here, to be perfectly honest. And we get to save our boots as well, so sure. So then we'll use the top of Sentient Growth to do an attack 2 targeting like this. So we'll do the attack 2 first and then the healing. Let's attack 2 into something with 2 shield, but well, we got rid of that. That's nice. What value? All right, so we get 2 healing on the Spellweaver and, well, 2 healing on the Brute, but it's really just 1. Now we wish we'd healed ourselves, but oh well. End of round. So we're going to definitely do a short rest here for the Brute. Or, sorry, for the Cragheart. Alright, I mean, I don't want to lose Kinetic Assault because it's my best initiative since I don't have unstable people here. But, I mean, I'm not going to re-roll out of it. It's not one of the most important cards, that's for sure. Alright, so what is our plan here? Yeah, we don't want to do it like that because then we're going to muddle our allies, which is bad. So Provoking Roar seems very obvious for the Brute because this allows us to prevent the Lurker from attacking when the Lurker hits quite hard. I mean, reasonably hard and on 2 targets right now. So this seems very, very obvious. I think going up and getting some free curses is all right. It's interesting. I mean, there are a lot of things that have conspired to make Heaving Swing worse in this playthrough than they've ever been before. Well, so now, because we have this, a lot of times we actually just end up wanting to use Blunt Force while using Dirt Tornado rather than Heaving Swing. Advantage is close to getting +1 attack anyway. Now, obviously, we use Blunt Force the turn before, and then we can set up Heaving Swing the turn after. That's kind of the dream, right? But it's also, this allows us to move, which makes it easier to set up good Dirt Tornadoes, especially with Curse. This matters a lot. And it gives us good initiative as well. So it just has a lot of benefits, which makes me like the bottom of Heaving Swing less. The top of Heaving Swing is also good, but also since we've been not playing with stamina potions, we just create a lot less obstacles than we normally do when playing with stamina potions on the Brood. So this is actually what's made the top of Heaving Swing worse. So Heaving Swing has actually been pretty underperforming compared to how it normally does. Normally it's an excellent card. It's just kind of interesting. I mean, the stamina potion effect has all sorts of ripples you wouldn't expect. Okay. Well, which card do we not want to lose more? I don't know. We don't really care about it. I mean, these are probably the 2 cards that we want to lose the most in our deck. But we've got to play this anyway because there's a range attack on the Frost Demon, which is pretty obvious here. Um, I guess at this point I'd rather keep. How much move? Yeah, we have 2 move 4s. But I guess if we lose one of them, then I'd rather have the move 3. Otherwise, the healing could be good between rooms. Yeah, I guess I'll try to keep the healing. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty close. Neither of these are very compelling. I mean, I don't feel like I especially need either of them. And whichever one I play this turn does nothing. All right. I guess we can just ham and a potion it to get an extra turn. That's not a bad idea. Well, that still changes nothing. Okay, let's go. So first things first, Brute goes. We're gonna use Provoking Roar. So we use the bottom skirmishing maneuver because we don't need to move here. So we're gonna use Provoking Roar to do an attack 2, disarm, targeting the Elite Lurker. Ooh, there we go. That's what I like to see. So 3 damage, putting him down to 9. He has 2 shield and a disarm. And then we're going to use the bottom skirmishing maneuver, gaining 1 experience. Yeah, I mean, that experience was never realistic to be on 7 or under. Doing an attack 3, range 3, targeting the Elite Frost Demon. Okay, 4 damage. So we're done. Then the Cragheart goes. So the Craghearts can gain 1 experience, do a move 2, retaliate. Although again, this doesn't really matter. God, our party spends so many turns strengthened now. It's amazing. Strengthening ourselves. Oh, there's no earth. Whatever. I mean, this is more just to get curses for later on anyway, more than anything. So yeah, we just get an attack 1 muddle curse, targeting both of them. We'll do the elite. We'll do the lurker and then the frost demon. So lurker first. Sure. No damage. Then frost demon. Okay. So we got 2 damage on the frost demons down to 4. The muddles don't matter on any of these things. I'm not going to bother placing them because none of them are attacking here. But we do give them 2 curses. That is significant. Gives us some nice value for further down the road. All right, then the Spellweaver goes. So we make an attack 3, creating light, because why not? Targeting the elite Frost Demon. That's 4 health, conveniently enough. So let's see a +1, I guess. Well, it's like a +1. All right, so the elite Frost Demon is dead. Ours is, yeah, no allies exhausted. The Brute still hasn't killed anything after the first thing. Just have to spring a trap for him. Okay. And then we have move 3, or move at the bottom fire orbs. But now there's not really any reason to move. And we can just do a generic move 2 to stay in place. This way we can keep elemental aid and theoretically do a heal next turn, since they don't really need us to finish this guy, I guess. Accordingly, we actually should move so that Heaving Swing can actually knock him into an obstacle. All right, so let's just move to here then. And we actually lose the strength. Let's move there as a generic move 2 at the bottom of fire orbs. And let's use a Hamina Potion charge to get fire orbs back. Okay, so then Lurker goes, loses his disarm, takes 1 damage down to 8 from the wound. And Frost Demon's eliminated. Okay, so like I said, we want to heaving swing him for sure. This is essentially an attack 5, which is about as good as the Cragheart can do. And what do we need to move up in order to do it? And we kind of want to go early to make sure. I mean, we hit him before he does stuff. So pretty much one of these. I guess doing 1 damage to the brute isn't that big of a deal. I guess there's a greater chance. We've already seen that they have like a 28. Yeah, but they've got another late 20s. So 29 might go after, but if it goes after, it goes after. We're doing so fine here that it just doesn't really matter so much. Biggest attack as well. Do we have any bottoms that really change anything here? I mean, I'm not playing quite a mobile phalanx bottom. If we want to create wind, we want to do it not this turn, but the following turn to set up a skewer afterwards. I guess we can just use a mobile phalanx just to get initiative here. It's our best initiative. This way, maybe if the Cragheart does end up going after, I mean before him, we could actually kill him potentially before he goes. Who knows? And then the Spellweaver, we're going to go as late as possible to heal someone afterwards. And he'll have created Earth with the bottom rolling advance, which also works well to make our heal empowered. Okay, let's go. 41. There's no ice, though. Yeah, wound. All right, fair enough. Well, we'll heal one of them off. So the Brute goes first, gains 1 experience, makes an attack 5 with Unstoppable Charge, targeting the Elite Lurker. Okay, so this does 3 damage. So Lurker goes down to 5. And we have a move 2, but we can't actually really get away, so we'll just stay where we are. That's fine. Should we Hamina? Yes, we should. It actually gives us 1 more turn. So we will use a Hamina Potion charge to get 1 additional turn with a Mobile Phalanx. Okay. Next up is the Cragheart. So the Cragheart is going to use the bottom of Rumbling Advance, creating an Earth, doing a move 3, damage 1 to everyone adjacent. So this means the Brute takes 1. All right, there you are. And this enemy takes 1 as well. Going down to 4. Should hopefully be good enough. All right. And then we're going to make an attack with Heaving Swing. So we have an attack 3 with advantage. So let's see how this stacks up. So 3 with advantage should deal 1 damage, plus the rock does 2 damage. Yep. So then the wound kills him. So we're good. And really, we could even count on getting like a 4 with an advantage to attack on a 3, I think, normally. Well, we'll see. We've drawn a lot of +1s at this point. But anyway, it still doesn't matter. All right, so Heaving Swing as an attack 3 with advantage. We will be using the push, although it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Yep. So we got a 3. God, every time we try to get experience with Heaving Swing. No, yeah, it exactly kills. Every time we try to get experience with Heaving Swing, it just doesn't work out. I mean, whatever, the experience is not that big of a deal. So he's dead. Because our 3 got doubled to a 6, he has 2 shield and he had 4 life left. Coin dropped. And Lurker's gone. Alright, then there's just the Spellweaver. So we're going to consume the Earth, and we'll do a heal 4, or heal 5, sorry. Wait, oh yeah, the Brute was back to full. Heal 5 with the top of Elemental Aid on the Cragheart, putting him up to 20. And gaining our first experience of the scenario. And then we have a move 3 with Fire Orbs. 1, 2, 3. Which is the most we can move, and conveniently on a coin. Now we are just taking this scenario apart. Enhancements are pretty good. I mean, even at this point, +3 is, well, the scenario's not over. Let's not. The next room is the most difficult. These 2 rooms are pretty easy. Oh man, I am getting hungry. All right. So it's just, oh, no more strength then. Moving and healing and moving time. All right. So we actually don't have a top heal anymore, but I guess the Brute kind of wants the long rest before the next room to get the boots back, so it doesn't really matter that he doesn't have a heal. I guess the Spellweaver can just long rest right now. Let's see. Let's see how it works. He doesn't even have long rest. We can actually heal him by moving next to him with Sending Growth. I think the Spellweaver... I mean, the Spellweaver would like to long rest, not because it actually gives us anything. I mean, it gives us 2 healing, but it also lets us choose which card to lose, which is actually really significant here. We can try to beat a scenario without having to play... I mean, we can try to beat a +3 scenario without ever having to try... without ever having to play Reviving Ether. It's quite a statement. I mean, yeah, this gets us like almost all the way to the next room. I suppose there are no summoners, so we can always just open the door and draw things back. So yeah, let's do move 4 jump first. So I guess we'll leave this coin behind. We also are the only one who wants coins. But I guess, the Cragheart getting it is still kind of okay. Not especially okay, but it's kind of okay. Yeah. So what if the Cragheart heals the Brute then by moving with Sentient Growth? So we need to have the Brute go later. So we just go like this, maybe? Or we can even, yeah, something like this. And then, what's the Cragheart playing? So that's his move to get on the coin and heal the Brute. So everyone's going to be pretty far behind except the Brute. But like I said, the Brute might just open the door and run back towards us. So we just want to keep our biggest movement. Ooh, we can create Earth to then have a big movement with Cataclysm. That's interesting. But I guess we don't want to do that this turn. We want to do that the following turn. So for now, we should this initiative doesn't work. Do something like this then. That seems fine. Just throw this away. We don't need the healing anymore at this point. She'll be full. He'll be full. Everyone will be full. Okay. So first we go with the Craghearts. We do a move 2, heal 1, affect all adjacent allies. We just move to here. Technically heals the Spellweaver for 1 as well. And the Brute's full. And then we do nothing with the top. Then the Brute goes, so we're going to do move 4 jump, creating a wind. 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. And wind is up. And the Spellweaver does long rest. Shields her back to full. And yeah, goodbye Elemental Aid. Elemental Aid also gets worse once you have the bottom of Mana Orb, Mana Bolt enhanced, because at this point you just can't afford to play the top anymore, playing the top was the way that you could get the bottom of Elemental Aid to work. I still don't necessarily have regrets about taking it. The top of Elemental Aid has been fine for me in this party with Cragheart Brute. But yeah, I don't really care. At this point, we're going into what is effectively the last room, basically, more or less. There's one small room, but you don't expect that to be a huge fight. So I don't really think I need to keep heals around anymore. And, I still have Reviving Ether. All right. So how would moving work for us? We'd like to jump as well. So Reviving Ether looks good here. Sometimes we'd also kind of like to save Reviving Ether for if we're gonna. Are we actually gonna fight anytime soon? Let's see. Oops, we actually need to finish the round. All right. Oh no. I just did that because I had those cards selected at the same time. So we don't want to open the door this turn. So we've got some time actually, right? Because he's gonna move to here, and then we're gonna long rest again, just basically to get our boots back, because the boots for the Brute are quite valuable, and we'd like to be able to use them and then still have our earring. So we'll long rest here. So yeah, we move there this turn. The Cragheart has 2 turns. So I guess creating Earth, allowing us to potentially do a big move with Cataclysm and like a massive boulder. Ooh, no, but this room is going to be the trap room. So actually a big move and a crater is more tempting. So we want to keep these 2. So actually just get rid of this. This also allows us to move more this turn, which is not necessarily a bad thing. All right, and so then the Spellweaver. How are you doing things? So let's see. The idea then is not that we enter the... but then, it doesn't change anything, because then the Brute's going to long rest the turn that the Cragheart enters the room. That doesn't make much sense. So we're either entering the room next turn or the turn after. If we enter the room next turn, if we do the jump to here, we're still pretty far. So it probably doesn't make sense for the Cragheart to worry about hitting the big move into an attack. So that's fine. Yeah, we wouldn't have Earth anyway. So yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. So we'll enter the room not this turn nor the following turn. So in that case, we can be patient with this. We can just do one of these moves. So we have 2 turns of not entering the room, then we have 1 turn where we do enter the room, which needs to be these 2 cards. So we just have to keep those. So doing move, and the top, the other actions here don't really matter. Okay. All right, so it looks like we're good finally. We just need to make sure. I haven't actually paid attention to making sure that we don't move onto the same spots that people are at. But so if necessary, I could switch some initiatives, but I'm not gonna need to, I think. All right, so we do move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to there with flashing burst. Then we have nothing else. Brute doesn't move 4 as well. 3. I guess this allows more likely strain. I don't know. both straight lines are pretty equally likely. And then the Cragheart has a move 4 as well with the bottom massive boulder. But first, actually, we're going to gain 1 experience and create an earth and place some rocks. Do like 1, 2, 3. Just placing them out of the way for experience. We did gain the experience, yes, and create earth. And then we do 1, 2, 3, 4 move with massive boulder. Okay, so now the brute does a long rest. We do our biggest move. And again, we just do a move such that we can set up our combo and we go into the room. Okay, so Spellweaver first, we move through with fire orbs. 1, 2, 3. And then the Cragheart, the bottom of Cataclysm, consuming earth to get a move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the brute does a long rest. So we get our boots back and we get to choose a card to lose. We're still going to keep balance measure for now then, because we just got our boots back, so that's kind of going to be our last big hurrah. I think it's probably time to get rid of Provoking Roar, to be perfectly honest. So, without actually looking at this, it's kind of, I mean, I guess this comes from experience, but I don't actually explicitly remember this room, but there are kind of trends you can see that are relatively obvious, I would say, when seeing how enemies are set up in scenarios, right? So this first room was only lurkers, and the second room was mostly, I mean, it was still mostly lurkers with a little bit of Frost Demon influence, right? So it was a bit of mix either way, however you want to look at it. So we haven't seen any living spirits yet, so we know that there will be living spirits in these rooms, presumably in this room already. And it'll also probably be Frost Demons, because this is like the transition in, right? Which is like the thematic way of looking at it. So what this means to me is that this room is going to have, in my mind, Frost Demons and Living Spirits, and it will not have Lurkers. This is not based on previous knowledge of the scenario. This is just based off of kind of metagaming the way scenarios are set up by Isaac or in general, right? It's just the kind of the progression of moving from an area with one type of monster to the area with a different type of monster. So neither against Frost Demons nor really against Living Spirits is Provoking Roar actually good as an attack. Now, it is still fine as a generic move too, especially because we still have a Hammer Potion charge. But I mean, we have to get rid of something. So to me, it makes sense to get rid of Provoking Roar here. Okay. Let's do a short rest for full Cragikins. Ooh, I don't know about that. That is I mean, that's a card that wins the ends of scenarios. Yeah, I'm going to reroll. The only thing I really don't want to lose is Rock Slide. All right, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm more than fine losing Sentient Growth to keep Cataclysm. Cataclysm is so good at the end of scenarios. I mean, in non-boss fight scenarios, Cataclysm is your best loss, I would say. I mean, I guess it's a little bit different. Once you have Blind Destruction, then backup ammo can theoretically be your best loss, but that's just also kind of abusing some stuff. But yeah, I mean, Cataclysm is an enormously good loss. All right, so this combo. Wait, what? All right, well, this was all. There was no new information. This was always very obvious exactly what I just looked at the wrong card. There we go. I was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't work. So again, there was no. I mean, this was just garbage time of moving through there, and the goal was always to keep this combo when we enter the room so that we can set up Cold Fire afterwards. So it always made sense that we wanted to have these two cards, not Cold Fire plus Surviving Ether, which doesn't make any sense. I just wasn't paying complete attention. I just kind of saw the fire symbol on one card and the fire symbol on another. All right, so we're always doing that there. We'll check the initiative in a second. So the Brute presumably wants to run in with this and Balanced Measure. Setting up Skewer seems reasonable. So we kind of want to go after 54, I suppose. So that means it's going to be an 80 for the Spellweaver. That's fine. And for the Cragheart, maybe it should even be the Cragheart who opens the door then and throws down some obstacles. Could that be tempting? Because this would give us I mean, not only the ability to set them up decently, but also to potentially prevent enemies from reaching us. It's not a bad idea. It also creates Earth to allow us to Dirt Tornado or Cataclysm. Neither of these things are bad. We do also want Crater, also to Crater, which is significant. So yeah, I think I like that. And if we're going to do that, we probably just end up moving on to the door. Should we use Blunt Force now? The thing that sucks about using Blunt Force is we're using it with Rock Slide, so we're not getting one turn of the strength in, but we shouldn't be too hung up on that. Do we have something else? Because we need to go before 54 then is the idea. So I guess it makes sense actually the Brute also wants to go late. We have jump, so we can always get past if they clog up the door. So we don't need to go before 54. We need to go before 77. So just this is a generic move, I suppose. It's probably fine. Like I said, I'm not super obsessed with having to get Heaving Swings off. Yeah, I think that's... I mean, it's basically whether we use that or Blunt Force. But Blunt Force is good initiative. I'd rather not waste, actually our best initiative when we don't actually need it. Guess the fair point is we can consider saving Cataclysm for this last room. I don't know how... I mean, again, I don't remember the scenario at all. I mean, that well. I don't remember how densely packed this last room is with... let's make sure there's no special rules things. No, all right. This last room is densely packed with enemies or not. Maybe we just use Cataclysm here. Because I'm not sure we use in this room. No, I'm not sure whether we do or don't, but accordingly, I think I'd rather just use Heaving Swing here as a generic move. I think this is fine. Not having Heaving Swing isn't that big of a deal. It's only really for Dirt Tornado, and even then, maybe we want Blunt Force more. All right. So let's go. Cragheart first, generic move 2 with Heaving Swing. 1. So we've got some water in this room, because this is the vessel which is sinking, or well, sunken actually. It looks like it hasn't completely sunk, since it's just a little bit of water on the end. Thematic water, really no gameplay impact whatsoever. Or very, very limited gameplay impact of having the water over there. Two barrels in the center. The traps. Trap here. Unfortunately, mostly flying enemies, so difficult to effectively use the traps. It's just the one Frost Demon, that's it. Kind of would hope for more Frost Demons. Especially because it's only a regular, not even elite, so the stun on it matters less, but, well, we'll make it do. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 regular Living Spirits and 1 regular Frost Demon. So he has 12 health. And then these all have 4 health. Alright, let's see what they're up to. Ooh, okay. That's something. Oh, wow. All right. I can appreciate what's going on here. I was just thinking about how I was steamrolling the scenario, and just for thinking it, TTS got me. Some nice coordination from these two fellas there. I can appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna drop some rocks though. I think we may even want to be moving back here. So this is going to be range 3 only, and with -1 movement. So he has 2 movement. Place an obstacle here. I mean, this is, yeah, pretty obvious. All right, no, we don't actually even need to move back, because from here he has 1, 2, 3. No, and he'll go 1. Yeah, I mean, I guess if he goes after, he goes 1, 2, but changes nothing. All right, beautiful. So we create an earth and gain 1 experience and drop some rocks. So always 1 rock here, because this is going to force him to walk all the way around. Oh, TTS. I'll do the damage afterwards. I mean, I guess we're gonna be able to have it all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well. I mean, if we don't get a perk, we don't get a perk, right? This is just too filthy. Because now he's actually gonna walk through this trap, and it's a stun trap, so he's actually just gonna stun himself. Oh, I mean, yeah, one check mark doesn't matter to me that much. All right, so we got 2 damage. Oops, on everything in the room too. God. Yeah, Rock Slide's a pretty good ability still, even without stamina potions. Like, for example, if we had stamina potions, this room would just be over now. We would just stamina potion Rock Slide back, immediately Rock Slide all these living spirits again, and then there would just be nothing left to this room. But as is, we're gonna have to work a little bit harder for it, but not so much. Not so much. All right. So that was that. Nothing else to do there, I think. So now the living spirits go. So they create ice and do a move +0. How much movement do they have? 3 movement. So you move to there. It's going to be cursed for each of us. I'm just going to move all of them and then we'll figure that out. So 1, 2, 3. So curse for these 2. Oops. Oh no. What have I done? 1, 2, 3. Curse for everyone. And then this. He can fly to there, so he can find focus, yeah. So he can just move here, and it goes curse, curse. Okay, so first it's going to be curse for everyone, because we're actually going to run out of curses here, which is why we got to do this properly. So curse. I'll shuffle afterwards, obviously, after I've given all of them. Curse, curse, curse. And then the second one did curse. Oh no, we're actually going to be just accurate, right? Yeah. Oof, that's brutal. Dumping the entire deck. I guess we're getting a curse tornado taste of our own medicine in here. All right. Well, this is going to hurt the brute more than anyone because he's the one really not capable of giving himself advantage. So I do just want to see something here. It's kind of significant, I suppose. Does the Frost Demon consume the ice here? They did place themselves in a beautiful... Ah, you're right. I could have... Yeah, but this is actually how I just did it instinctively. I didn't even think about this, but I mean, they did actually place themselves in this pattern. I could have put this one here, but I kind of followed the same logic that I typically. God, no, I didn't. I don't want people thinking that I'm taking advantage and making it too easy for myself. This is the logic I would typically follow because it's a ranged enemy, so it prefers to have better line of sight. But I guess from here it has line of sight as well. Yeah, easily enough. No, technically it doesn't actually have line of sight from here, does it? Because of the weird rules about the wall over there, I can't connect it. No, all right. Yeah, no, there's actually a break. I mean, so typically when I move melee enemies, I don't have much of a preference, but for ranged enemies, the rule that I always apply to myself is to move them like I would want to move, well, in a way of trying to attack enemies, right? By being here, it makes it easier to have line of sight at the enemies, whereas here you have more limited line of sight, and in fact, it's true, this one doesn't actually have line of sight at the Spellweaver from there, whereas it does from here. Admittedly, it's one range short, but I don't know. Anyway, I didn't do it without while thinking about it, but it is true that it does. I mean, I'll just do it like this though, just to make it seem, just so that it's clear that I'm steamrolling this scenario without having to take any advantages. All right. So the question I have is, does the Frost Demon use this ice here? When he's gonna, so he is going to activate, but does he use the ice at the moment of doing the attack portion, which he's never going to do, or does he use the ice? I mean, so does he only use the ice if he actually gets to make the attack, or does he use the ice when he performs the action? That's my question. Anyway, I'll do what he's actually going to do, but I'm not actually sure about this. I've never actually found something. So the trap damage is 8. If only the Cragheart could get credit for this trap spring, right? And he's stunned. So he'll be stunned until the end of his next turn. They didn't move before I placed rocks because I was actually the one opening the door. So I finish my turn and then they go. Yeah, he does have a range attack, so he does move. And it is an attack with range 3, so he can find focus. His focus would be here, I suppose. And audio pool. So the initiative order is them before me, but when you open a door, you you flip all the monsters and they activate, but any that would have initiative before the person who opens the door and reveals them finishes their entire turn, and then the monsters go in the order in which they would have gone, with ones that should have gone before going first in that order. They do flip their cards immediately, but they don't perform them immediately. You always get to finish your turn before they start going. And then again, if you had some before you, like just like here, well, all right, let's imagine this frost demon was like 56. So we were at 57, so it's still the first of 55. So we go back to do that one, and then we would do the 56, and then then we proceed afterwards. This is how it actually works. Okay. So they won't consume the ice. I mean, it's good for me if they don't consume the ice here, but I just wanted to be sure. I would be inclined to think that, well, I don't know, it's weird because it all seems to be tied into an action, but yeah, that's fair. I understand. It is, I guess, before that line. My question is just whether elemental consumption has to do with the entire action or not. I guess no. I guess the where it is placed is actually significant. Well, so this does solve it for here. We know that here he will not consume the ice, right? Because it is actually a separate line. But so then my question is, for something like this, if you don't perform an attack, do you still do that part though? Like, does it increase the attack? Because what what's weird about it, all right, is because, for example, something like this, it changes the range of the attack. So this actually, like, it's it's difficult, but if you have an attack at range 3 where you're choosing your focus, which, like, you find the place that you focus from at the beginning of your action, right, for the monster. They figure out their focus, which is the location from which they attack, when they begin their entire action. So monsters element consumption is attached to another ability to attack and doesn't perform that ability. Is the element consumed? No. Okay. So that makes sense. Thank you for finding that in the FAQ. But so the reason why it is still weird to me is, so the monster needs to find its focus based off of how much range it has, correct? But if the elemental consumption changes the range of the attack, it's like it's circular logic, kind of. Do you understand? So if he doesn't do this until attacking, then does he consider that he has a range 2 attack? And it's only if he gets to a range 2, then suddenly has range 3, but then what's the point of increasing the range of the attack by consuming the element? Do you understand? I mean, do you understand what my point is with this? In this situation, it doesn't matter at all because he stuns himself no matter what, and it's quite clear from the FAQ that, but because focus is determined based off of what your range is, an elemental consumption which changes your range makes it really weird how you would determine. So, like, it's not supposed to happen until you attack, but you actually are supposed to apply it then before moving, actually, even though it it isn't supposed to be until the attack. So if you're supposed to consider the additional range when you move, then shouldn't the elemental consumption happen right when you move? This is why I find this to be a bit weird. But anyway, like I said, here I'm arguing against myself. Having the ice just makes things easier for me because now I don't need to create the ice with the reviving ether. All right, so the frost demon's done no matter what. So next up we have the brute. So for the brute, we've got wind consumption or creation. We have a move 4 jump. What is our attack actually going to be? Oh, it's balance measure. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna save the axe. I mean, this spot's gonna be so easy for us. We're gonna use our boots to get 6 movement here. Oh, hold on 1 second. I need to turn off my notifications as well. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. It did move into the trap of its own volition. Yes, so monsters will only move into traps if it's the only way that they can possibly move to attack, basically. And here, because he was making a ranged attack, he does consider that he can move to attack, because actually, technically with his range 3, he could attack from just here. And because this is completely blocked off with obstacles, which this is legal to block off with obstacles plus traps, just not with only obstacles. There are only 2 paths through, which is obstacle here, and I mean trap here, trap here. So in this case, he moves in. Oh, you're right. He could have taken the. Yep. Yeah. That's a good call. You're right. So he wouldn't actually move into the trap. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. All right. So let's fix that. This is fine anyway. He's not really a threat. And this way we can maybe actually put him into a trap. All right. So he's back up to 10 health. And he has 2 movement, so he just goes around like this. Yep. Yeah, exactly. This would actually be the spot. You're right. Good call. All right. So like I said, we created. Did I? No, I didn't create any elements yet. We create wind with the bottom of leaping cleave. We use our boots, so we're gonna get a move 6 jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. Battle goal redeemed indeed. I don't know. We're gonna attack this one because these will always be, or I guess we can attack this one. Either way, we get 3. How does the Cragheart do his stuff? I mean, it doesn't really matter. No, we'll just attack this one. This puts us closer to this door. All right, so we'll just move to here. I mean, we ended up moving 6, which is like, you know, 6 movement to here, and then we gain 1 experience, and we make an attack 6 with balance measure on the spirit adjacent to us. All right, 7. That spirit is dead. Just 3 shield and 2 health, so it only needed 5. What is our battle goal again? Oh yeah, so we were up to 2 monster kills. So did they use ice though? Well, the rules say that they don't, right? If a monster's element consumption, I mean, this has nothing to do with me applying something. If that is in the FAQ, then it's in the FAQ. If a monster's element consumption is attached to another ability, typically attack, and doesn't perform that ability, is the element consumed? No. So, I mean, I I use my own rules, with the exception of the stamina potion thing, when I consider there to be ambiguity to clear ambiguity. But here there's no ambiguity. The FAQ states explicitly what to do. It says not to consume the element. Anyway, it doesn't actually change anything here because I've got all the elements I need. Being able to create 1 additional element doesn't really make a difference. I mean, I can consume the ice anyway, and I'll still just create it. So, but no, because it's answered in the FAQ, I'll continue to do it. But I mean, I'll show that here it doesn't actually make a difference. All right, so then we're going to use engulf. Which we attack doesn't. I guess we actually want to attack this. Yeah. Coin? No coin. Coin. We have to. All right. So we're gonna do a move 4 jump with the Bobbin of Reviving Ether, creating ice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we actually want to be able to attack this Frost Demon because we should kill all of these. There's a little bit of risk we don't kill that one because we'll be disadvantaged. We got all those curses in our deck, but still. Okay, and then we're going to use Engulf as an attack 4, targeting the Ice Demon. So we create fire, and we do an attack 4 on the Ice Demon. All right, 3 damage. It's fine. And we're done. So now we have a short rest. All right, that's fine to lose Engulf now. And we just need to keep Cold Fire and Mana Bolt were the most important things here, actually. All right, easy. So what is everyone else doing? So the Cragheart really wants to push him, but we don't have jump. But I guess if the Spellweaver clears all these out, then we can. We have the Earth. So Crater, and we just have to go up for 7. That's very difficult. And I guess we'll use Blunt Force while we're at it to get advantage here, and then we can have advantage for next turn as well, potentially. As for the Brute, what's the Brute doing? I mean, all these should die. I guess there's a chance of this not dying, so maybe just something in case. Well, we have Wind, so I guess we have Skewer, just in case something doesn't die. And, yeah, I mean, otherwise we can jump over to the door. I guess, yeah, we can do this. We can potentially open the door. I mean, just go a little bit crazy, clear this room in 2 turns and keep moving on. Otherwise, if the Spellweaver fails to kill any of these, then we'll kill it ourselves with the Root. This looks pretty good. And the push is easy, yeah. Even, no matter which one, as long as we kill. Oh no, this one actually has to be the one to die. Otherwise, the Cragheart can't move through. So it would be better if the Cragheart could go after the Brute, so that the Brute can kill that one in case the Spellweaver fails. That way we can still get the push. And even, well, no, because the problem is if it moves further. Oh, but now it's, no, now it's going to move through. No, yeah, we have to go before it. I mean, now it's not ranged anymore, so it's actually going to move into the trap and kill itself. No. All right, we're just gonna hope Spellweaver is gonna kill it. Spellweaver is fine. She's so good at this thing. All right, let's do it. 18. It's gonna move anyway. You son of a stupid frost demon, stupid battle cult. Oh man. All right, whatever. So we're gonna start by using the bottom of Mana Bolt to strengthen ourselves for 2 rounds. And we're going to use the top of Cold Fire, consuming fire and ice. We're going to use our piercing bow to ignore all shield. There's not really any reason to use. So the the power potion would be relevant just specifically if we get a -2 on this guy. That's the only one that it actually matter on, really. I mean, are we going to need it in the last room? Maybe. I think it's better to save it. All right, so we won't use anything. So we'll do walk into the trap with his. No, I'm not that desperate. Like I said, I want to show that I beat a scenario on +3 difficulty without even playing Reviving Ether. That's my goal here. My actual goal. All right, can someone give me an ordering? We've got Living Spirits 2, 3, and 4. 4 is regular, 2 and 3 are advantaged. I'll wait for someone to give me. Unfortunately, we found this out, so it doesn't work this way. Multiple instances of advantage or disadvantage don't stack. It's simply if you have any amount of advantage or any amount of disadvantage, and then if you have one and the other, then it just nullifies. So unfortunately, we can't apply the goggles to get an additional source of advantage in order to make it so we would have advantage on this one. We actually had this discussion a while ago. I mean, I suppose you weren't watching the stream yet. It was actually a long time ago. But oh, gotcha. For walking to throw. I see what you're saying. Uh But the problem with 432, thank you. The problem with walking into the trap is that we're still going to take 8 damage and be stunned, which sucks. I just want to beat the scenario. I don't like. Yeah, it would be nice to get the battle goal, but I'm not that crazy about the battle goal. I mean, I've already got the best perks for the Cragheart anyway. At this point, we're getting +1 immobilizes. Eh. If it was the Spellweaver's perks, maybe it would be a little bit different because those +2 fires are quite valuable, but +1 immobilizes are so meh. All right. So anyway, 432. Thank you very much, Audio Pool. So 4 is not disadvantaged, or is not advantaged. All right, perfect. That's all we needed. So then we've got 3 and 2. Okay, so we've got ice. Should we create it? Yes. No, we will not. I think because there's no way we could use an extra. No, we'll not get the ice for that. It would have been nice to get rid of one of our curses as well. Well, we killed them all. We didn't even have to put them into the beautiful diamond that we would have liked. Okay, so we're done. Now the Frost Demon goes. Come on, Frost Demon, really? You couldn't be cleverer than this? Alright. So the Frost Demon dies because he just walks into this trap, because that is actually the way he finds focus this time, for sure. Okay. And, well, now the Cragheart doesn't get to attack anyone. Guess I'm just going to move to here, grabbing a coin, and giving myself strengthen for 2 rounds. Living Spirits are also eliminated. Shall I open the door? Yeah. I mean, we're so fine at this point. At the same time, being able to set up... Nah, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. All right, we're going to do... I mean, this is not the correct way to play, for sure, but we're going to have some fun with it, right? We'll do a move 4 jump with Fatal Advance. 1, 2, opening the door. This is like your party member where you're very suspicious that he has the goal to keep enemies on the scenario at all times. Ooh, man, all the money. So we need to be careful about killing all these enemies. Although I just don't care about the money so much anymore. 2 enemies? Really? That's it? Jeez. Jeez. And the chest. Oh yeah, so we already have the thing flipped. But we still finish our turn before they go. So we have 2 more movement. 1, 2 to here. Consume the air. Gain 1 experience. and we get an attack 4, pierce 1, wound. So we'll do closest to furthest, 3, then 2. So 3, yeah, sure, and then 2. Jeez, did I forget to shuffle? Let's see, if the next one is a curse, then I did. Nope, it's not. All right. Oh, man. Well, I just kind of cheated, unfortunately. But I think... yeah, well, I had... this is +3. This is +3, that's correct. Yeah, I should have just waited for chat to answer. The fact that I saw the 2 on the top made me want to check, because if I'd seen the third curse on the top, this would have meant to me that I didn't shuffle, most likely. Well, although in the end I did. And unfortunately, I gave myself a little bit unfair advantage there by now having shuffled away the miss. I guess I can just put the miss back on top so that there's no... Well, no, I still shouldn't. It doesn't really matter. All right, they both get wounds. So now they actually go. So we're done. So attack -1. So this is just gonna go here. I guess actually further away from people in this room. Here. So this has 1 damage, and how much does the elite have in health? 7. So down to 6. Monster curses for my deck. Oh yeah, I was. You're right. I just always use this side of the ones for my deck. All right, miss on top. Fair enough. I'll do it. Let's find it. Wait, how? There are too many. But the... What? How did I have 4 curses? I guess I got one earlier that I didn't remember. No, this is the only time they've cursed this scenario. Well, whatever. We're just gonna roll with it. This is impossible, though, right? The brute never should have had 4 curses. He should have had 3. No, there were 4 spirits. Yeah, no. It's 4-2-4-2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I mean 4-4-2. All right. Let's put the miss back on top. We'll pretend as if we don't know that it's on top as well. Well, let's shuffle so we don't know what else is gonna happen. There we go. Okay. So the reason why I do this is simply because the blesses and the curses are both over here. So I use these 2 for the players and this one. I guess I should just switch them around so that it's actually appropriate. But because blesses almost always go to players, not monsters. So having the 2 thing, I mean, like having this above this makes me remember that this is the player deck, whereas this I use for the monster because it's separate. This doesn't really ever, very rarely comes into being relevant. All right, anyway, we've got 2 attacks by the living spirits. So it's an attack 4 and an attack 3 on the brute. So attack 4, so 5. So 3, gonna be muddle as well. And then -1. So this one was a 4, so 3, so 2. So 1. All right, and muddled. All right, well, unfortunately, we're never getting the Cragheart's battle goal confirmed now. Man, there's so many coins. So let's just do this combo, I suppose. This way we can have both our elements again after we get back Cold Fire. So what about for the Cragheart? What are you doing? So we're gonna have to move into the room. We're gonna pass up all these coins. Man, where's the giant loot when you need it? Ooh, Cold Fire is the giant loot. So that's the goal here. Get to here. Bottom of Cold Fire. Yes. Yeah, we have to move to here still. Ugh, man, we got a lot of moving to do still. I don't know if we have enough longevity to avoid playing Rhyming Ether. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try. It's pretty important. Bragging rights and all that. This is an attack 5 that can hit both of them with our axe. That's good enough. This for initiative seems fine. How do you choose who to get the treasure chest on? I usually decide based on who needs money the most, because the most expected thing is something that I'm going to sell or it having been gold. I mean, the most common thing would be just getting some form of gold, whether it's an item you sell or whether it's actual gold. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter so much. So it's usually who needs money the most. So in this case, the brute is the one who wants the money the most, so that's how I choose to have the brute. I would typically have the brute get the chest here. But it's also just like who it's convenient for. I don't try to. I mean, I always try to make sure I get the chest, but I don't want someone to have to go way out of their way. So it's just the person who can most easily access it is the most common way I would say that I address that. So we need Earth so that we can Cataclysm, I suppose. Rumbling Advance. Can we make it to them? Can we rumble on up to them? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we can't. Massive Boulder gives us 1 direct damage, which I guess is fine. Alongside what? I guess Stir Tornado, which gives us some movement. Sure. Late initiative, it doesn't really matter. There are no more of you. Let's go. Okay, 48. So 17. So first the Brute. So we're going to do a generic move 2 with a Mobile Phalanx. Going to here. Man, this model is going to be painful here. Again, we're pretending as if we don't know there's a miss on the top of our deck. So we do that as a generic move. We gain 1 experience with Unstoppable Charge. And we're going to use our axe to hit both targets with this. So we'll do regular then elite. So disadvantage each time. Okay, so miss on the regular and miss on the elite. All right. Again, if I was pretending as if I knew the miss was there, obviously it would have been better to use Mobile Phalanx to get some shield. And not attack the 2 targets as well. Well, I mean, I guess attacking the 2 targets wouldn't change much. All right, the Living Spirits go. So they're making attack 4 and 5. We lost this. So each take 1 damage from their wound. So you go to there, and to there. Ooh, we even be able to hit them. Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, just barely. Okay, so they both attack the Brute. Should I actually... Yeah, I should use the earring real quick. Refresh all this stuff. I'm not about to long rest now. Feel myself a little more tanky. Guess I'll use the healing potion as now as well. It doesn't really change anything. It's not like they wound. Sure. All right. So then, like I said, so attack 5 and then attack 4. So 6. So 4. Okay. And a curse. And so then it's the Spellweaver goes. So we have a move 4 jump on the bottom of Reviving Ether. We'll create an ice. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. And then we'll gain 2 experience, create fire with fire orbs, targeting both of them. We'll use our minor power potion now as well. We have advantage, so it doesn't really matter. So we do an attack 4 with advantage, targeting both enemies. It's not very likely to do too much, but I mean, whatever. We're just playing cards at this point. We'll do elite, then regular. So attack 4 advantage each time. Elite first. Ooh, nice. Very nice. This is how I do. So our 4 becomes an 8. He has 4 shield, so he takes 4 damage. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, they already gone this turn. Okay, they don't die now. Oh, God. But the... Oh, God. Oh, we've made a huge... I mean, well, the crit on the elite. All right, all right. And the regular? So the regular's dead. Because 4 plus 2 is 6, and his 3 shield, yeah, and his 2 health. All right. All right, now the Cragheart goes. So we're just gonna do, so what's our plan here? So the elite's always gonna, I mean, it's always gonna die when it goes. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to move into position anymore to use Coldfire's bottom as a loot. So we don't need to deal any more damage, so we should just pick up coins. We don't have any loot actions for the Brute, do we? Or maybe the Cragheart. I'm sure we don't. It's not much of a looter. All right, that's fine. Yeah, the Brute is fine with getting 1 more kill. He can get exactly 1 more, so this is fine. So I guess we should just like go here and go here. Oh no, I guess we'd actually can't make it 1. That's fine. All right, so what we're going to do actually is we're going to move to this coin here now. And we're going to use our mana potion to create an earth. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting these in my discard. I'm not getting anything back right now. I could play a generic to get something back, but nah, I don't really care. Okay, so short rest for the Spellweaver. Yeah, Cold Fire gets us 3 coins. Yeah, sure. Lose Reviving Ether. Like I said, never needed to play it. Losing it by choice. So Cold Fire's bottom, like I said, gets us 3 coins here. We'll do this. Oh, I guess we want to go. If the elite dies, do we get its coin? No, we don't. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll just go earlier with this then. Okay, so the Cragheart we want to do a short rest because it allows us to get an experience on top potentially. All right, that's fine. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure my fiance ordered the food already because I'm starving. Maman, t'as déjà commandé? Ok, parce que je suis sur le point de finir. Alors, et Ok, thank you. Okay, so what is the brute doing? I mean, the brute needs to move to the chest, basically, no matter what. We should short rest, though. I don't know if we have anything that actually changes anything really here, but sure. But we're gonna have a look regardless. All right, so this allows us to get an experience on bottom by moving. Do we have an experience on top? Yeah, this is. If we go before the enemy, which is not so likely, but that's fine. So Cragheart wants to do biggest move, which is this. That's why we created the earth. 6 plus our boots is 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, if we go after this, we can actually get the 2 coins there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Yep. So we go very late. And rocks actually gives us experience, even with no enemies around. The treasure is not under the living spirit. The treasure is under this coin right here. Living spirit just has another coin underneath him. So for now, I mean, there's no way that the living spirit's ever moving on top of the treasure, so we'll always be fine. And like I said, well, it always dies. So yeah. All right. Oh no. Oh yeah, no, the brute kills him no matter what, but it doesn't actually matter. He can get one more kill. Okay, let's go. Nice. So Spellweaver first. I'm just gonna use the bottom of Cold Fire as a loss, doing a loot 2. Which gives me this, this, and this. I do have line of sight of this because the line to there. So I got 3 coins. Not bad. And we won't. Yeah, I guess we care more about the Spellweaver's experience than the Brute's experience. We will attack. Plus, there's a decent chance we don't kill. All right, so we'll consume. Wait, were we supposed to have both these elements? Oh yeah, because we set up Cold Fire. We didn't end up needing it. All right, sure. We'll consume the ice, gain 1 experience, and we'll just do an attack 3. We'll not use the goggles to gain advantage or anything like that. So attack 3 on the spirit. Okay, no damage, but at least we gained 4 experience for the scenario on the Spellweaver. Wow. All right, then the brute goes, and we're going to gain 2 experience total, 1 for doing a move 6 loss, and 1 for doing an attack 5 when we get here. Get this stuff at the end of the turn, so let's just grab that for now. The person who wants money the least got money the most, got the least coins, but got the treasure. Although I think the treasure is actually something we would have wanted on the Spellweaver, if it is what I remember it being. If it is the Doom Compass, I hope it's not, because if it is, then I wish I would have gotten it with her. But I think it actually is too. But so be it. Okay, so we do an attack 5 on the spirit. Nothing special to use here. 6, 2 shield, so he's just dead. Oh, wait. Which gives us our 3rd kill, but that should be fine. There's a chance I missed one, but I don't believe that I did. All right. So living spirits eliminated, and then the Cragheart goes, so it just gains 1 experience for using the top of Rock Slide, and then we consume the earth we created last turn, do a move 6, plus use our boots to get a total of move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We move here because this has 2 coins. We gotta see what the treasure is. Alright, so what was the treasure? 54. Don't be Doom Compass, don't be Doom. Well, I mean, getting the Doom Compass would be good because it's such a great item. I just feel bad if I got it on the Brute instead of getting it on the Spellweaver. 54. Alright. Doom Compass. Ugh. Yeah, I thought so. I wasn't 100% though, so I didn't want to play as if I knew it. Also, I didn't necessarily want to just like play around pretending to know. So, for example, to answer your question, Sauce MS, here, if I had known what this item was, I would have chosen to get it on the Spellweaver because I would rather her have it. All right, it's item 124, so we'll be spoiling that for anyone who's never seen item 124, which is one of the better items in the game, to be perfectly honest. So this is the Doomed Compass, which we'll soon be using on the Brute. Almost every party is happy to have a Doomed Compass, to be honest. It's quite nice. Sets up AoEs, moves enemies away, functioning like a heal potion to prevent them from attacking for the round. And most significantly, most frequently, moves enemies into traps. So it's very, very good. We'll start carrying that, which means we probably sell the stun powder. Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of the round. So the reward for this scenario was 10 experience each, to the best of my knowledge. We're doing number 93, right? Yes. So, again, 14 plus 10, so 24 plus 4, so 28. Yeah, it's a great item. All right. I guess we'll get the money as well. So these coins are worth how much each? 4 each still, because we're on 5 for scenario level. So 20 gold. All right, over here. So again, it was 24, so 32 experience. 12. And over here, oh no, sorry, in money, so we had 24 gold. So we'll do that enhancement right away as well. Never again pesky frost demons will get to move in traps on their own. Now you can force them to make better decisions. Pretty much. Oh yeah, it's very good on that class as well, without a doubt. I really like it on that class. It's maybe one of the best. It's also really nice on the Scoundrel as well because you can, move an enemy towards you and your allies, or you can move an enemy away from its allies so that you can isolate them. It helps a lot with making Visage better, or just making the Scoundrel better in general. There's a lot of classes it's quite decent for. All right, over here, so we had 24, so 35 actually experience. All right. So the Brute did get a check mark, so the Cragheart's the only one who didn't get a check mark. All right, so check mark there, and miraculously check mark here. We know this was possible. She might actually get a check mark perk. Unbelievable. A valuable perk, I should say. I guess is a better way to put it. Hard to believe. No, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna lose some check marks to a city or road event or something, and then yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess calling it bareface is okay. I never seen that used before, but I suppose this is an argument which can certainly be made. I mean, it does look more like a bear's face than a phoenix uterus, so. Uh, People just call it too many because there are 2 miniatures in the box. That's the most common name. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine to call it that. All right, let's clear this up. So this is the last scenario for the day. Quite a way to end the day. Like I said, we just breeze through a +3. But as I said, having gotten all these enhancements and everything, it's going to have a significant impact now on the difficulty of scenarios. Oh, hold on, we didn't gain our gold here. 8, so 37. All right, and we're definitely using the Doom Compass. So I guess it's probably just time to go to the healing potion. Healing potion is still valuable because it removes poison and wound, more wound than anything I would say. But yeah, I mean the Doom Compass is much better, and now the Hammer Potion, it's tough actually. It's a toss up between these two at this point. The Hammer Potion definitely scales better than the Healing Potion does, even though I definitely preferred having the Healing Potion early on. We'll see actually. It's a fair question which one we use, but we're definitely bringing the Doom Compass. I'm not going to sell it to have someone else buy it. Is there? Let's see. What are the cards? So Cold Fire, we can never enhance again. Reviving Ether, we can never enhance again. Mana Bolt, we can theoretically enhance. I guess we can enhance the range. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I mean, because we're going to be prosperity limited for a really long time. Yeah. So I don't think there was anything else to do. Oh, no, we get to level up the Spellweaver. All right. So we get a perk. We're going to go with a +2 in fire. After we've gotten all these, then we'll remove all the +0s. Oh, we should get all the curses out of our decks as well. Huh. Did we really? We already got all of them? Okay. He should have all of them still. First world problems, huh? Alright, we did miss a curse somewhere. I feel like there should be one still in this deck. No? Oh no, we just didn't. Yeah, we'd seen it in here, but we hadn't actually got the other one out. Gotten the other one out. Okay. And here. Alright. So that's that. So let's do the spell we were leveling up. So we did the perk. Oh no, hold on. Before we forget, let's do the Brood. Yeah, Brood has a perk as well. Another Rolling Stun. Pretty obvious choice. A good perk in general. Alright. So to Spellweaver's level up. So we have a choice at level 6. I think this is a pretty interesting choice, actually. I mean, Frozen Knight isn't really an interesting choice, but basically, Living Torch versus Chromatic Explosion is an interesting choice. So if you don't have Reviving Ether enhanced yet with any element, I think Chromatic Explosion is the choice, because obviously being able to do the Cold Fire combo frequently is I mean, as we saw here, just an enormous impact. So I think that's more valuable than adding another good attack to your deck. Just better to double down and make sure that you can get I mean, not double down, but it's better to unlock Cold Fire than to be able to use Living Torch, even though Living Torch is nice with the level 3 or level 2 card that we take Flashing Burst. So yeah, normally I would do this at level 6 if I don't have Reviving Ether Enhanced. But with Reviving Ether Enhanced, we have, again, the Ice for Cold Fire for 2/3 of most scenarios. So I think I'm less inclined to want this 71 move, which just creates the element as well. I mean, it gives me redundancy, which is nice, which protects Cold Fire a bit more. But I think we're secure enough. It's also, what I mean by redundancy is we can lose Engulf because we're never losing Reviving Ether, at least until, 2/3 of the scenario. So I think with Enhanced Reviving Ether, taking Living Torch is fine and maybe best. Whereas without, like I said, I would take Chromatic Explosion. So, I mean, at level 7, we'll be taking whichever one we don't take here, because level 7 cards suck. So I'm just going to put Living Torch back on top. Oops, sorry. Chromatic Explosion back on top. We're going to take Living Torch. And let's just make our deck real quick to see what gets cut. So Mana Bolt, you're staying. Reviving Ether, you're staying. Cold Fire, you're staying. This is not sure. This is more questionable as well. So this is in. So yeah, some combination of 2 of these 3 cards, I guess kind of scenario dependent, are what remain. Yeah, we definitely, by not having Fork Beam, do have an initiative issue by not having that move 4. I guess it was better at early levels, but doesn't scale as well. It's an interesting point. I mean, healing Gloomhaven just doesn't scale very well anyway. All right, so that is it for the day. We didn't have anything else that we're supposed to check off. No. So thank you very much to everyone who tuned in, as usual. was a pleasure. We'll be back tomorrow, also as usual, at the usual time, GMT 4 p.m. GMT +1, and we'll be, I don't know, doing exactly which scenarios. Probably like one serious, one side scenario or something like that. I'll have to double check that I haven't accidentally missed adding some scenarios. We'll figure something out. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna. I don't. We'll try another scenario on +3, and if it ends up being as easy as this one was, we'll consider going up to +4. Problem is, we'll only have a little bit of time where we can actually go up to +4 because soon enough we're actually gonna hit the cap. I mean, at the next time one of the people in the party gains a level, +3 will be the maximum we can do at that point. But we can potentially try one on +4. But like I said, we'll try +3. It could just be that the scenario was quite easy. We also got pretty fortunate with flips early on. Nothing too difficult happened, etc. So it's always tough to say just based on one. I mean, no reason to just do one scenario on +3 and then immediately go. I guess we did two on +3 today, but still. Will I switch parties? I will switch parties eventually, but I do have to get the retirements for all of these people first. I'm not just going to switch without retirements. So I guess once I get closer to level 9, oh, if things get too easy. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, but I always just want to retire them. I guess if things get too easy, I can also just, I mean, once I get closer and closer to level 9, I'll start focusing more on actually hitting the retirement goals. So right now, we actually have two boss scenarios unlocked, so I can always do that. So it's actually a fair point that I'll need to focus a little bit more on doing some cultist and bandit scenarios to make sure that Spellweaver gets some more check marks so that when I want to put them into retirement, I can. Yeah, there's no doubt that the other party will not be this easy. I mean, this party, first of all, has a lot of gold enhancement, a lot of gold at this point. Getting into 50 gold plus 100 gold, this makes a big difference. But also, I mean, just this party is just designed to scale really, really well. Just the core of Spellweaver across Cragheart is pretty obscene. Oh, and we go like this. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. Thank you again. Look forward to seeing those of you who tune in tomorrow. Otherwise, later in the week or next week or whenever. So take care. Have a nice evening or afternoon or whatever it might be for all of you, and hope to see you again soon.